morning, Jason Genova. Let me hear what the updates are and we'll see if I have any tips or tricks or shortcuts for you. First thing I'm curious about, though, is your vacuum pose. You know, when you breathe your air out and suck your stomach in up under your rib cage. You're pretty good at it, and now that you've lost a lot of fat, you're doing that pose more. It's pretty impressive how tight you can get your waist. Where did you learn how to do that? And do you do it often in order to practice it and for exercise?
A lot of that stuff, it's just a natural gift some people have, and I've always known how to do the vacuum and just good at that Frank Zane classic physique look.
People always ask me how to do the vacuum, and it's really hard to describe. It's easy for me to do because I know what I'm feeling in my body, but it's hard to describe to someone else how to approach it, like a step-by-step process. I think it would be entertaining, Jason, if you attempted to be able to explain to someone who doesn't know how to do the vacuum how to start practicing to do the vacuum, like a step 1 through 5. Can you do that?
I can do a tutorial video on YouTube to teach people how to do the vacuum who are actually gifted doing the vacuum. I think it's very possible to somebody with trouble, if they have the gift, how to do it 1 through 5, breathe in, breathe out, exhale, suck it in, get it all in, and stick it in there like the rib cage.
Update us, Jason, on your current diet and training. How much cardio are you doing per day? What types of cardio are you doing? And how many meals you're eating per day? And what is a typical meal? Because it's working. I'm watching your Instagram story. You're losing a lot of fat every day, making fast progress. So let's see what it is that is working for you, and then we can see how we can optimize it.
I'm eating less than 50 carbs a day, low carbs, high protein, 6 times a day. I'll tell you a typical meal. 4 eggs, 2 yolks, just for breakfast, go to the gym, do my 20-30 minutes of cardio, weights an hour. After that, come home, have chicken with broccoli all throughout the day, low as carbs as possible. Then I do another 15-20 minutes of cardio at night. Minimal cardio, lots of weight, build muscle, low carb, high protein, very little fat, and I am drying the fuck out from whatever I'm doing. Today's a fast day, so tomorrow will be all low carb days. It's worth it. Whatever I'm doing, it's worth it. It's going to be painful. I'm going to get moody at times. I'm going to get very hostile. But I am leaning out on a low carb diet. I'm eating less than 50 carbs. I do get sleepy sometimes through the day, so I drink some of my pre-workout because I am a CEO of 2 businesses now, Olympio and Chisel Labs, Sickening Pump.
The low-carb diet is awesome for losing fat. The consequences of it, though, are, like you said, your energy levels can drop, especially until your body becomes really fat adapted, really able to use fat for fuel efficiently. And it's that transition process that usually throws people off. People want to go super low carb or no carb or keto or carnivore. And at the very beginning, it's very hard because the body is addicted to carbohydrates. So it sounds like you're pretty close to breaking that carbohydrate addiction. Just a little extra pre-workout or something gives you enough energy to push through. But do you think that when you're doing your weights workout, when you're lifting weights in the gym and you're using primarily glycogen for fuel, which is what gets refilled more efficiently through carbohydrates, although it's not absolutely mandatory, but you'll never have as much glycogen in the muscle on a no or low carb diet as you would on a high carb diet. Do you think that it's compromising your workout performance in the gym?
No, it's not going down. I actually have a pretty good workouts in the gym. I'm still hitting very lightweight, lots of reps, squeezing and contracting the muscle fibers, getting to 8 to 15 reps on 4 to 6 sets. Like, because I got injuries now. I'm a lot older, in my mid-30s, so I got to watch my injuries. So lifting heavy, I don't lift really heavy. I train smart and efficient and get around the injuries. And it's all about squeezing and contracting the muscle. Lots of reps, lots of tension, lots of sets, and lots of low pause breaks.
Jason, before your next weights workout, I want you to try something. Take a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt or Himalaya salt, any kind of natural salt other than the iodized over-the-counter salt, because the natural salts have other minerals in it too, which are also helpful. And do that before your workout. Drink a lot of water. Tell me if you feel an even better pump. Of course, take it with your pre-workout, so you've got the mental drive and energy and additional pump. But try it before your workout. Tell me if you have more power in the gym, your muscles feel fuller, you feel better. Make sure to drink enough water with it, though, of course. Also, what is your current supplement or drug protocol for fat loss? To maintain the muscle that you have, because you're cutting hard, so you want to lose fat, not muscle. and then also to keep you strong and driving through the workouts in the gym despite the caloric deficit and especially the carbohydrate deficit.
I'm taking GRP6 was not fragment growth hormone, 250 milligrams a test once a week, MK77 twice a day. When should I start adding the trenin and the anavar and the other stuff?
As for you taking trenbolone, you want to know when to add it in. I think it's a bad idea. I mean, trenbolone is awesome for, especially when you're cutting, preserving muscle, keeping your energy in the gym, but for mental state of mind, it's not good. I know very few people that have positive mental effects from tren. The ones that do say that it makes them less emotional, more focused on what needs to get done, less social, and more isolated in a way that can make them more productive. But it's a big risk because it can go the other way too, which is that everything seems more negative in the world. You feel more disconnected from people, even paranoia, aggression. And in your position, Jason, you have a huge fan base of trolls that have a lot of negativity they like to vent through your platforms, and it affects you. And I think no matter how strong you think you can stay on tren and how focused you're going to be on your goals, I mean, look at what happened last week. You almost went to war with PJ Braun, which would not be fun, would not be cool, and would totally distract you from your goal and sidetrack you. And I know that your fans, the trolls, find entertainment from seeing your destruction or your bad choices, and they encourage it. And that's what was happening with the almost Order 66 on Blackstone and PJ. And I understand that, and that's a form of entertainment, and I'm not putting that down, but I see you have this huge opportunity right now to transform, to really inspire people, especially people who've got disabilities. And you have the potential to do something huge and positive, and yet you almost got derailed, and you're not on tren. You got really angry. You were really upset, and we had to talk about it, and we had to get you refocused on your goals. And now imagine if you were on tren. I might not, and you might not have been able to pull you away from that negative thinking. We might have been totally sidetracked from our goals. So I don't think the small benefit that trenbolone could give you as far as your body composition and reaching your goal, I don't think that overcomes the risk of tren completely throwing you off your goal.
Body fat is right now by looking at it, and what do you think I should end up weighing the end results after this all is said and done? At like 10 to 8% body fat. What should I be pulling in weight wise if I keep doing this and onto the track? And what do you think my BMI is by looking at me? Because I'm going to get a body fat check probably today, probably at the NutriShop. I'll be put on the scale and tested my body fat. It's a pretty accurate one. I can't afford the Exo fat, unfortunately, right now. But that should be the closest accurate thing.
As for the body composition test, there's no reason to guess what your body fat is or body fat percentage is right now. You're going to get the test anyways, and we need that data. It's going to tell us how many pounds of fat you have, how much lean muscle mass you have, because the goal is to preserve or even build lean mass while losing as much fat as possible. And for you, I see why it's important. You definitely like to have a goal, a target in your mind to be working towards, a body fat percentage probably. And so if we find out exactly how many pounds of fat you have, we find out how much fat you have to lose to get to that percentage, we can pick a date and work backwards, and you can actually have an attainable goal and a benchmark. You can check your progress by seeing on another body composition test how much fat you lost and whether you maintained or built lean muscle mass.
Good idea. That's pretty smart. I'll just save the bottle for down the road if I'm going to off season. Listen, when should I start using Anavar? I have those tablets. And I also need to know, I'm going to get my body fat checked today. What should I do in terms of when I get the stuff and what I should do with it? And also, I have one more thing I want to know. I'm a CEO of a company, Chisel Labs, 15% share company, and I'm 50% of the Olympio. What should I do? I'm going to be in the Star Wars movie in October. Should I just keep getting leaner after that, after 8-10%, see what I look like, and maybe step on a stage again? Should I?
Jason, should you keep trying to get leaner? Yes, even after you meet your goal, keep getting leaner. But I know how this works because I do this too. It's like a pendulum. You get shredded. Once you start seeing yourself getting more shredded, then you want to bulk. Then you feel small. And then once you bulk, you feel watery, you feel soft, then you want to shred again. And you want to go back and forth. Well, I want to say to you that it is okay to do that. So if you want to cut for 3 weeks and then you want to throw in just like 3 days of bulking where you're going to carb up and take some different supplements and put on some size again and really fill out, it's okay to do that in short bursts. In fact, doing that will spike your metabolism up and you'll burn more calories then after those 3 days, back when you go back to cutting. It's really helpful to trick your body and go back and forth. That's why I don't like 6-week cutting cycles or 8-week bulking cycles. I think your body can make much faster progress if you switch between the two much faster, but you always have an overall target in mind. Your overall target is fat loss. So most of the time, most of the days per week, you're going to be cutting. But if you want to fill out and bulk up, let's just start with one high carbohydrate day and we'll strategize it together so that you do it right and you don't gain any body fat and you maximize the amount your metabolism can spike from that so you can burn even more fat during those cutting days that follow the bulking day.
Okay, implementing carbs every so often in your diet. I'm not on carbs right now, but I can throw in carbs here and there, 1 time a week, 3 times, 4 times a day. Like if I'm on a 5-day no carb, I could throw in 1 day of carbs for a little size. And yeah, every other week I'll go from S23 every other week to Anavar 50 milligrams, and I'll bump it up to 75. All right.
As to whether or not you should add in the Anavar, what I'd rather see you do is switching between compounds rather than running a whole bunch of compounds at the same time. So you're already running a testosterone replacement therapy dosage as a foundation. So you're going to stay anabolic no matter what, whether you add anything on or not. But then you add something additional on, which in the case of Anavar would help your performance in the gym, help you burn a little bit of fat, help you maintain your muscle, but probably won't help you build any muscle because it's pretty weak anabolic. Then you've got the S23, which is a much more powerful anabolic, and the more powerful an anabolic is, also the quicker you desensitize to it. So it's perfect to use something like S23 for, let's say, even just 1 week. Again, completely forget everything you knew about 6, 8, 16-week steroid cycles. Doesn't apply anymore. It's old science. Instead, think about using the S23 for a week and then switch to the Anavar for a week and then switch to something else or back to the S23. And then each time you come back to the drug, maybe try to increase the dosage a little bit. I'd say for you, for Anavar, 50 milligrams per day, just on top of your TRT, it's probably plenty to keep you anabolic and improve your performance. And then the next time you take it, maybe you do 75 milligrams of Anavar.
Shop right now to get a body fat check. It's not one of those Caliber ones. It's one of the ones you stick your infrared heating on your leg line, and you sit on the pad and you get an infrared heating test. That's I can't afford a DexO scan right now. They're very expensive. So this is the closest thing I can get to a clear read.